ladies and gentlemen, my name is Coffee Break, and I am back with game number 3 between LiquidHero spawning as the blue Protoss in the upper left-hand corner of MLG Antigua Shipyards. And it looks like a little bit of pre-game pause here, but we will not see that. This is a replay. There we go. There we go. See, it's all taken care of already. Between LiquidSheth and LiquidHero and LiquidSheth spawning in the lower right as the red Zerg here once again on MLG Antigua Shipyard. So we've seen quite a couple of quite interesting games out of both of these players so far. I have really enjoyed them. In the first game we saw once again LiquidHero defending against a 7-pool on MLG Tal'Darim Altar and able to go 1 gate Stargate, keep LiquidSheth inside his base, and denied LiquidSheth from taking his third in game number 1, and was eventually able to just out macro LiquidSheth, and LiquidSheth GG'd before LiquidHero even got to his base. In game number 2, we saw a very long drawn out macro game that ended with LiquidHero doing the Battle of the Alamo. Was not quite able to hold out in the end, but it was a very exciting match. In fact, LiquidHero held on much longer than he really should have, to be quite honest. And if you guys did not see that, please go check out game number 2. It'll be in the VODs. If you're watching a VOD, then don't watch this before you watch game number 2, because you want to see what is happening. We do have a 12 pool coming down from LiquidSheth, so he did this last game. It seems that LiquidSheth does like to favor the early metabolic boost. He will stop getting gas right when he hits 100 gas so that he can get his metabolic boost and then expand off of that. It is a very safe expansion build and allows you to get that early map control, and especially on maps like MLG Antigua Shipyard where there's only one Xel'Naga watchtower. It is very vital to control that watchtower because it pretty much gives you vision over anything that's happening in the middle of this map here. If your enemy is even thinking about attacking you, you will know unless it is airplay and coming from the sides. Now we do have, once again, this Forge Fast Expand coming in from LiquidHero. And Forge, it looks like may have even gone next first in this matchup. A much riskier build, but if you see that your opponent has gone hatch first or is getting like I'm sure Hero kind of noticed that there was this one this metabolic boost play coming out. If you see your opponent doing that, you know it's safe to expand first before getting your forge or before getting your cannon, and that just gives you that earlier nexus, earlier economy. And once again, like I said, we do have this metabolic boost on the way. Those drones were pulled off gas and that expansion was taken. Now, last game, LiquidSheth did go for a very fast third after a little bit of failed Zergling aggression. It was just mainly Zergling poking, I should say, actually. Just kind of seeing what was up with LiquidHero. We did see LiquidSheth take a third, which allowed him once again to get that early economic advantage. Now this cannon is focusing away right now. It's focusing the Zerglings, and LiquidHero does recognize this and is pulling probes, making sure they all just mine out of this one little patch over here. Cybernetic score is dropped back here just to make that run time. It's a little bit longer to get into the main base, and it looks like LiquidHero is going to be just fine. Might lose a probe by accident. Oh my goodness, this is really intense micro. Oh, and that probe does try to come back to mine and is taken out. And this is just really a really annoying point for LiquidHero as he does get that one Zealot out, which will force these Zerglings back around. It looks like they will get into the main base for taking minimal damage, and they're going to be able to maybe get a probe kill or two. Nope, too many probes there. Turning around, and they do get a second probe kill. Don't know if they will get any more, as once again there is this Zealot here to defend and quite a few probes on the field, and probes can actually fight Zerglings relatively effectively, especially if the Zerglings are kind of low on health. And it looks like they will get a third probe kill. And really, every single probe kill you can get in the early game really counts. Just look at this control from LiquidSheth, making sure that all 3 of these Zerglings do stay alive, all 3 Zerglings that are around do stay alive. Just kind of scout around, make sure there is no hidden tech. And here we go. Here's that fast third I was talking about from LiquidSheth. That is a very nice play by him. Knowing he has the full scout, he knows that nothing crazy is coming out of LiquidHero. And look, these Zerglings are even managing to regain their health. One was down earlier in at the very edge of his red. Now we do have 2 back into the red now, but that allowed him to get a couple more shots, and this just forces LiquidHero to pay attention. There's a 4th drone kill, probe kill, and finally a Stalker is going to come to the base, a 5th drone kill, before finally LiquidHero is going to be able to clean this up. Now I do not think that Stargate was scouted, whereas it is right down here on the low ground. Let us double check to make sure that was not scouted. LiquidSheth's cam, it was not. It was not. He did see the Skyber net score, but no surprise there. And we are going to be seeing a double Stargate out of LiquidHero. My goodness, I'm deciding to commit to the Stargate play. That is going to be, this always makes for a very, very interesting play. You will commonly see players who get 2 Stargates get 2 to 4 Void Rays and then do a lot of Phoenix production. I would say probably 3 Void Rays is kind of a money number, and then just getting 6 to 10 Phoenixes, and you can do ridiculous amounts of harassment and damage with that unit composition, especially if LiquidHero is looking to do some sort of 2-base all-in off of those 2 Stargates with a little bit of gateway support. We do a Roach Warren coming down for LiquidSheth, so that is just going to favor LiquidHero even more. The Evolution Chamber is already down. I do not think that there are any Spore Crawlers on the field as of yet, as this has not yet been scouted. And there is this Overlord in position, could quickly scout this. He would only see one Stargate though, and I don't know if that would be enough to warrant the response that LiquidSheth would need to be able to hold off this sort of play. Both Stargates making a Void Ray right now. We do have a second Zealot being morphed in. No extra gateways on the way yet, even though there is a little bit in the way of extra resources. The first Void Ray does finish, and now we are seeing a Phoenix as opposed to a 3rd Void Ray, and I would expect to see the same out of this Stargate. Indeed we do. So 2 Void Rays on the field. Looks like he is going to intentionally miss this Overlord, as that is just such a common spot for Overlords to sit. You always know they're going to be outside your base. And LiquidSheth feeling fairly safe to drone very, very heavily. We do now have 4 Spore Crawlers on the way, so apparently this was scouted at some point around the map. The Zerglings make sure there is no 3rd base for LiquidHero, and there is not a LiquidSheth going to be able to poke up in here, but see that there is Zealot not going to be able to do any damage. There are 2 Spore Crawlers in place at this base, as well as 2 Queens. They're going to be able to start taking down these back rocks, however, probably just to get charged here, I would assume, and then a little bit of Stutter Step Macro to make sure that they stay charged, which is actually, I'm going to be honest, harder than it looks. Now these are, once again, all charged up. Now both these Queens, one Queen is lifted. I would expect to see the next Queen lifted as well. This Void Ray needs to be micro back. There we go. That second Queen being lifted now. Both these Queens are going to fall. Both Queens have fallen out. A couple more Spore Crawlers going down at this 3rd base. More Phoenixes being rallied in, and a couple of unburrowed Spore Crawlers. Spore Crawlers aren't even beginning to burrow yet, and LiquidHero is going to be able to do quite a bit of damage. One does finally get burrowed, and a Void Ray does fall. We have stopped the Phoenix production, however, and now we're getting ground weapons level 1. So it looks like LiquidHero is not looking to really commit to this. The second Void Ray does fall. Not the best control on those Void Rays there. And it looked like there were a few Queens killed, and that is rather annoying, but LiquidHero putting a lot of money into all those Voids, and now Phoenix production has restarted. And it looks like he's going to be pushing in here and take out some Overlords. And these Overlord farms, without these Spore Crawlers finished quite yet, are going to take a lot of damage. There is 1 Void Ray left here, and now finally 1 Spore Crawler does finish. Only 1 Void Ray there to take that out. And there are Hydralisks down on the map now, but Phoenix is so good against Hydralisks if you can keep the Hydralisk numbers in control. LiquidSheth has been supply blocked for quite an amount of time now. It looks like we do have Roaches pushing up into the natural of LiquidHero, looking to take out a few probes, originally targeting that assimilator down, but now pushing in towards the probe. The cannons are not quite in place to defend it. However, the probes do get pulled off to the side. Now these Phoenixes are here, but Phoenixes take so long to be able to kill the Roaches. Phoenix is not very good against Roaches, as Phoenixes do the extra damage with light. A lot of Roaches in the middle line. Finally, some Zealots getting in position to begin attacking these Roaches. And the Roaches do a little bit of damage, but not a lot, but that's all LiquidSheth needed to do to pull these Phoenixes back. Now, we do have the Infestation Pit on the way, which is very, very nice against these Phoenixes. If you can get the Fungal Growth down and get a few Hydralisks underneath those, it is devastating to the Phoenixes. We do have Missile Attack level 2, as well as Groot Spines on the way. The Groot Spines giving a +1 range to those Hydralisks, which is very, very important if you plan on sticking with the Hydralisk tech. Where is it? There it is. Just kind of sitting in the back. And now I would like to mention also Heart of the Swarm will feature the increased movement speed that was in Starcraft 1 for the Hydralisks. That will be back, thankfully. Zergs really needed that for their Hydralisks. Hydralisks are so slow. The Phoenix is pushing back in, now able to take out a couple of Overlords. There are 10 Phoenixes here right now, and that is a lot of Phoenixes. Really, you only need 6 to be able to do a lot of damage. Now pushing in and falling back because, oh, 1 Phoenix does fall, because there is a Queen and a couple of Spore Crawlers there. They will not be able to do the damage they want to do. Spore Crawler and Hydralisk sitting over here, so that is not a good attack angle either. And if you saw there for a moment, LiquidSheth was supply blocked yet again in this match. My goodness, these Phoenixes are just being devastating. Now taking a couple free hits, but being able to take out one almost. That Overlord left with 1 hit point. That would have been really annoying for Sheth to lose yet another Overlord. Now making plenty of extras to make sure that he cannot be supply capped again. We do have the Robotics Bay just finishing up, so Colossus Tech will be on the field now, and that is the exact follow-up that you want to do against these Hydralisks, because really you use the Phoenixes and Stargate units in general to force all of the Hydralisks, and then you come in with the Colossus and just roast all the Hydralisks away. There are almost 24 Hydralisks in the army right now. These Phoenixes not quite towards the edge of the map as far as they can be yet. Another Phoenix does fall, and finally the LiquidHero being able to, oh my goodness, just being a little bit too close to that edge. The Spore Crawler able to take out that last Phoenix. LiquidSheth being able to take out this 4th base. Once again, I would like to mention this is a best of 3 series, so the winner of this game will take the series and probably move on in whatever tournament this is more likely than not from. I don't know exactly where this is from. A couple more free Overlord kills for LiquidHero now, and that will bring the supply cap under 200 after he kills this one. But the Fungal Growths do go down, and all the Phoenixes are taken out. That was exactly what I was talking about earlier. The Fungal Growths going down on top of those Phoenixes, and the Hydra is getting underneath those and able to do so much damage. There's only 1 Colossus out right now. This is the downside of this build, is that you have a very weak ground army for a little bit of time. There is 1 Immortal in this competition that will be able to do absolutely nothing, and LiquidHero now, LiquidSheth now knows that there is this Colossus Tech on the field. He could only assume before, and it could have been a decent assumption, but you never want to assume in this game. It looks like we are going to be seeing a bit of an engagement. Very good fortunes, just pulling off a few of the units here, killing an Infestor for free, and a good positioning by LiquidHero is going to be able to give him an advantage in this battle, be able to pick up a few units that he desperately needs to hold up this stack while he tries to get yet another Colossi out. Now there are 2 Colossi out. That is a very good number to have against this composition. Beautiful force fields go down once again, trapping some of the army, keeping the Hydralisks out of range. And LiquidHero, even though he's behind in that supply count, able to do quite a bit of damage with this composition. These 2 Colossus, all he needs to be able to hold up this army for an indefinite amount of time. The 3rd Colossus now on the way, and switching over to Zergling Roach for LiquidSheth now putting down Spire Tech, because he knows that he cannot continue up with those Hydralisks any longer. 3rd base getting a little bit of Zergling fire, but LiquidHero being able to pull off just fine in that engagement. A lot of Zealots being morphed in there. Probably knows that Zergling. Oh, and look at this, the backcross being taken out for LiquidHero. LiquidSheth could now move up through the back and do quite a bit of damage. In fact, he could do some sort of flanking maneuver if he so desired, and that could really just end Hero's game. And now look, we do have quite the army, quite the push out here from LiquidSheth, overextending himself just a little bit, losing a few Zerglings there, not able to do any damage. The Roaches looking to maybe take out a Colossus here for free, and yes, that Colossus is going to get sniped. The Colossus was just caught out in the open all alone. That is not what you want. A lot of Roaches being pushed into the base now, and they're going to be able to do a lot of damage to these probes as they are target firing down those probes, but they are going to fall fairly quickly in this battle. 1 force field, I would actually say hinders the army more than helps the army. These Roaches actually are going to stay alive much longer than they should actually be able to stay alive. The Voider is now being able to clean up the army. We just see air attack, level 1 all the way now for LiquidHero. LiquidHero looking like he's falling apart just a little bit in this matchup. Even the supply count does favor him momentarily. The Roaches do burrow now in the main of LiquidHero. Hero knows they were there. That is just really frustrating to know that those are there and not be able to do anything about it. LiquidHero a little bit ahead in the supply count right now. Once again, air attack level 1 on the way. So it looks like he was going to be going for this classic death ball of Gateway, Colossi, and Void Ray. Once again, the very old standard of the Protoss arsenal that was back in the days when Protoss just annihilated Zergs a little bit there with the Protoss death ball. Looks like Protoss is now going to be able to move out and be able to take out this 4th base, be able to siege it. There is a 5th base now here for the Zerg player, and all the drones do get transferred over in that general direction. And when here Sheth tries to come up from the side, Hero just moves down to the left side of this ramp, able to come around, and it looks like Sheth just doesn't know quite how to engage this, and it's a very bad angle for Sheth to engage, as there is no real good area to come in and try to take the army out. Now the 4th base just falls, the gold base just falls for LiquidSheth. It looks like LiquidHero very far behind the supply count, but has a very, very good army composition. Beautiful fortune cutting his army in half. Not all the units are shooting. There are carps here to try to take out the all the Colossus, but there are Void Rays on the field, which do stop the Corruptors from being able to do the damage they need to do for a very little bit of bounce time. All the Void Rays have fallen, but 3 Colossi do still remain, and 2 Void Rays more on the way. More Corruptors being made as well as Roaches, so it looked like we were going to be seeing Roach Corruptor out of LiquidSheth, and once again, a very yield competition out of both of these players in this matchup. what a game out of these two players. Once again, never ceases to excite us. We do have a couple more beautiful force fields coming out of LiquidHero. He has been spot on with those force fields in this matchup, and now these Corruptors looking to take down another Void Ray, but are unable to do that as there is Void Ray and Stark support underneath. Now these Void Rays do overextend just a little bit. Looks like both of them will be taken down by these Corruptors and these Hydros, and now LiquidSheth correctly pulling back. Want to save as many units as he possibly can. 138 to 120 supply in this engagement. 6 more roaches on the way, 2 more Void Rays, and a Colossi on the way. LiquidHero not even bothering with some of these lower tech units. Does not even have a forward pylon set up yet. May not even get one because LiquidHero looks like he might be pushing him for the win. He has a very, very scary army composition right now, killing a lot of creep tumors and overlords and a lot of just stray units. Bad rally point for LiquidSheth there allows Hero to pick up a few extra units. And Sheth looking to be in a very bad position, sitting on 4 base LiquidHero's 3 base, and 3 base Protoss is a very, very scary thing to go up against. It looks like we do have a few overlords over here going to be picked up for free, and finally bringing that supply cap under 200, so if he can keep picking up overlords, Sheth could be in a very nasty position if Sheth does eventually get back up in supply count. It looks like he might. 24 Zerglings on the way now. Very good against these Stalkers, but not very good against these Colossi and force fields especially. So once again, bad rally point by Sheth. A lot of these Zerglings should be picked off as they try to go into the rally point. And that is not something you want when you're so far behind the supply count already. Now looks like we're going to be having this get. That is a very bad angle for LiquidSheth. Now a lot of the Corruptors coming in here trying to take out the Void Rays and the Colossus. Target firing down the Colossus. Colossus following in 2, maybe 3 volleys. Looks like 3 volleys. It looks like this Colossus is going to be macro back. And Hero with a very good engagement right there, getting these ramp force fields off, not allowing the Zerg ground forces to come down, allowing focus power down the air forces. Now it looks like we are going to see seeing yet another engagement. Drones are pulled for this combat, but it doesn't look like LiquidSheth is going to have enough. There's 149 to 118 supply. A lot of these Russians now pushing down there, trying to take out the Immortal. They do get the Immortal, but there are a lot of Void Rays and Colossi left on the field. And it looks like these Void Rays, there are 5 Void Rays down right now. It looks like there's only 1 Colossus left. However, there's nothing left to take out the Void Rays and Colossus. And it looks like LiquidHero in a very good position. Funds were going down on that army. There's not going to be enough. And there is the GG from LiquidSheth with the, once again, the exclamation point. So excited to play that game against LiquidHero. And LiquidHero with a beautiful, beautiful army composition. Once again showing that these old compositions aren't bad. I mean, they went out of style, yes, but that's just because a new strategy came up. It doesn't necessarily mean that they are a bad strategy. I mean, we saw Sheth do Zergling Muta in Game 2, and it worked for a while until he transitioned out of it. So LiquidHero able to take that series 2-1. What a beautiful series of games between LiquidHero and LiquidSheth. It was a pleasure to catch these two players. Once again, two of my favorite players. LiquidSheth, I'm a Protoss player. But I can always root for LiquidSheth because he is such a nice guy. Yes, I do occasionally root based on personality because that's just one of the little things that matters to me. One of the little things. Looks like LiquidHero was gearing up to take his 4th base. LiquidHero had such a huge advantage in this game with his army composition, just able to slaughter these roaches. There were a lot of Corruptors on the field, but these Stalkers, even without Blink and all these Void Rays, there were 5 Void Rays at the end here and more being produced, just able to take out all of the Corruptors, which really left nothing left to deal with the Void Rays, which could just indefinitely kill roaches for all they cared. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Coffee Break, here with the Coffee Cast Pro Edition. I thank you all very, very much for joining me. And I would like to say, join me on Tuesday, Thursdays for Amateur Attack. That is where I take 2 people out of the chat and chat channel Coffee within Starcraft 2. That is Coffee with a 0. And I pit them against one another and cast them live to give them the experience to see what it is like to play under pressure, play with a game being casted with an audience. That is what I am here for. I would also like to plug my website. It is coffeebreak.weebly.com. That is coffeebreak with a 0.weebly, WEEBLY.com. And at that site, you can sign up for the Coffee Cast Open Tournament, which has a prize pool, a small prize pool, but it exists. It is a prize pool of $15. I would really appreciate it if you guys went and signed up for that. It's going to be a lot of fun. That is going to be on January 7th. And lastly, go to Facebook and search for Coffee Break, and you will be able to find me there and be able to know when I am going live and when the VODs go online. These will all be online very shortly. I think I'm out of stuff to plug now. I think I'm actually out of stuff to plug.